Hey sis, it's Coach K. Welcome to your morning wake up call where we get your mind right to build the business you were born to lead. All right, y'all. So what we talking about today? I want to talk about time for those of you who are in business, especially my newbies. If you're like in business, it's your first 1 or 2 years, and you're trying to build out something big, and you're like getting ready and got all the frameworks, you got the right coach, you got the right, systems in place for the build out. And so you're expecting it to be on a timeline, a certain timeline with certain milestones and all things. First of all, I'm proud of you if that's you because you got a game plan and you have deadlines and milestones for the things you're building out in the business. I'm proud of you, and it's going to take longer than you think. It is going to take longer than you think, so prepare accordingly. And for those of you who lucked out and you had a great product and your product was put out in the right time, you chose the right product, you chose the right audience, the market is right where you needed to be, and your business just blew up. That happens, just so you know. But most of the time it doesn't. So this is for my most of the time it doesn't, folks. That's not your reality. You're grinding, you're hustling, and you got to build to get to the place where you're going to see the revenue you want to see and the growth you want to see in your company. And just side note, it takes on average about 12 years for a business to scale to $10 million. So all the stuff you see on the internet about being an overnight 8-figure boss, knock it off. Like, that's not likely to be you. It could happen, and I could win the lottery too. And so I want you to prepare more realistically for what happens for most business owners when they're building a business, even if they're doing things the right way. Even if they're doing things the right way, it takes trial and error, it has ups and downs, it takes longer than you think. So if you're serious about building this business, I want you to do a couple of things. One, get your mind right and know it's going to take longer than you think. And that doesn't mean it's not working. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you got to play with it until it works. So you got to move things around, shift the offer, change the product, choose a different segment, audience segment. And you got to play with it until you crack the code, the puzzle. Sometimes the growth is slow, but it's steady, you know, and you just got to lean into that so that you are having this more responsible, sustainable growth with the company. um, so I don't want you to think it's not working because it's going slow. It might not be, but that's the point. Like it can take some time to figure out if you got the right product, you got the right customer, you have a solid business concept. So lean into that. It will take longer. The other thing I want you to do is think about what's going to sustain you during that time when you're waiting. And so in your waiting season, as you grow the business, what are you doing to sustain your mind, body, and soul to rest and recover, to have the type of motivation and encouragement you need on a daily basis? Who's encouraging you? What affirmations are you turning to? What type of meditation practice do you have? Are you leaning into your spiritual foundation? Do you have a group of business besties that you can turn to? You're gonna need that emotional and mental support as a business owner because it's going to take time. The other thing I want you to think about is there any in the meantime revenue or financial sources that you can set up for yourself so that you're not leaning on a business that's a baby for money? If the business is not there yet, it's not grown up, it's not mature, and you're turning to it to take care of you, that can put a lot of pressure on you. It can make you impatient. It can also um, make you panic and move and operate from a place of panic versus a place of creativity and thoughtfulness and strategy. And so really think about, like, do I need an alternative revenue stream to support me for a couple of years while I get this business up and running? So I have a lot of women who are like, I have 6 months runway before I'm gonna have to find a job. And so just think about that. What's your alternative revenue stream? How can you make sure you're okay while the business is growing into maturity phase? and even just like break even and bring in a little bit of take home things. So um, yeah, that's the message. The message is it takes time. So sit with that today and know that it's okay. And um, I think that helps prepare you for success.